I'm a member of the UBC Supermileage team. I'm a first-year student and I study commerce here at UBC.
I'm Caitlin. I'm the team captain of the UBC Supermileage for this year. I'm in my fourth year of mechanical engineering and the mechatronics option.
Okay, so just a quick history about our UBC Supermileage team. So here at UBC Supermileage, we are a group of students who want to change the world by changing what we drive. So we're trying to build these ultra-fuel-efficient vehicles. The team was established back in 2001 by, I believe, a group of only 10 students. And now it's grown to over 65, so we're very proud of that. So, yeah, basically we're just focused on the pursuit of efficiency. And the biggest thing is just to discover and to learn and just to have fun. Okay. So every year we compete now at the Shell Eco Marathon of the Americas. So hundreds of teams from all over North and South America go there to compete. Last year was at Detroit, correct? Oh, right. This year's going to be at Detroit, and last year was in Houston. Yeah. And then the past year we're at the SAE. So can you tell us a bit more about those?
Sure. Yeah. So originally the team started out with the SAE competition, which is kind of similar to the Formula SE competition, except for the purpose of fuel efficiency. And at that point, we worked strictly with the prototype vehicle, which we'll talk about in a second here. After a certain point, the team moved into the urban concept vehicle, and now we're doing both the urban concept and the prototype vehicle at the Shell Eco Marathon Americas, which is actually a larger competition and a bit more real world in the sense that, as you can see here, we drive down city roads, and they implement a lot of different real world factors into that competition, which makes it a bit more exciting challenge. The competition, the way it works, our cars get very high mileage, so we don't just get a certain amount of gasoline and run until we run out, because we would go for a very, very long time. So how it works is they give us a set track that's usually around 10 kilometers. We average at around 25 kilometers an hour around that track, and then they measure very, very carefully how much fuel we use and extrapolate to get our actual fuel efficiency. And our vehicles, our team is focused in the gasoline division. We still feel that this is the most prevalent fuel source today. It's very important that we learn new ways and have new innovations for how to use it more effectively. It still has a very high energy content, and it's something that our world is quite based on. So it's important that we get the most out of the gasoline we use. Yeah.
Here are the two types of vehicles, our prototype and our urban concept. When you get to our shop at the Western Head, you actually get to see some of the shells. And so there's a funny story, because what we do is we make our shells out of carbon composites. So what happens is, for our prototype, the size of one of our shells is about the length of one of these tables over here. The width is it's slightly bit wider.
It's about the width of a person.
Yeah. And it's about this thick. So what happened is one day I was at the library with a shell. Some guy was talking on his phone. He thought that it was a bench, so he sat on it. There was a huge boom. Everyone in the library heard it. And then, now, the thing about carbon fiber is that it's ultra strong and it rebounds back into its shape. So the moment I pulled the guy off, it just, there was like a crunch, and then boom, it just popped right back. So it was pretty cool. And the thing about the prototype is, because it's a prototype, it doesn't have to look like any, like conventional vehicle we drive. It only has 3 wheels. And how the driver drives it is the person actually, in a way, lies down inside the vehicle and just kind of bends forward, and so you're really close to the ground. I was told that it's a bit scary driving it.
I think that's called exciting. It wasn't scary, but
exciting, exhilarating.
Yeah, so one of the exciting parts of the prototype category, like Mike said, it's a concept car, so there's very few design limitations, and you can do nearly anything you want to make it as fuel efficient as possible. And then the other type of vehicle we work with is the urban concept, which is a bit more like, it looks a little bit more like a smart car kind of size. So the driver has to sit upright, they have a steering wheel, there's room in the back for luggage, and they practice a bit more stop and go driving as you would going to stop signs in a city and things like that.
Okay, so here are just a few of the achievements. So like we said earlier on, we first only competed at the SAE. So that was on like an actual racetrack.
you can see we started hitting first place finishes, and we kept getting first place at SAE until 2006, about 3,145 miles per gallon. That was the world record for 4 years after that. At that point, the team said, okay, well, we've kind of done this challenge. It's time to try something new. So you can see there's a bit of a mileage drop here when they switched to the Shell Eco Marathon Americas. And to try something new, we then switched into the urban concept category. So at first we had some trial and error, figure this vehicle out. But as we went on, we went into pretty top place finishes with our best mileage at 577 miles per gallon. So we're fairly happy with that, and we've got another strong contender in both categories this year. We're hoping to post some good mileages.
Definitely just shipped up our cars on Monday, so we'll be actually competing in Detroit in, I believe, a week and a half.
That's right, yeah.
So here are just a few of the main divisions: chassis, body, which is basically aero, engine, and there's actually electrical, but we'll talk about that later. So here, would you have to tell us about the chassis division?
Sure. So these are the ways we kind of reduce our fuel mileage. In the chassis, we're looking to reduce the weight and the friction. One of the main contributors to efficiency losses is in your steering and your wheel systems. So there's a lot of losses with your rolling resistance, they call it, with the contact of your wheels on the road, as well as any inefficiencies in your steering geometry. And then, of course, we definitely work to minimize the weight of the entire vehicle to make it more efficient. The body, so similar to what the Formula cars use, we have an aerodynamic shell. This one doesn't really work to provide a downforce, but it's entirely just to reduce the aerodynamic drag of the vehicle. So I don't know if you guys have ever ridden your bike down a hill. When you're sitting upright, you're going to go a lot slower than if you tuck down into a small position. You can reduce a lot of your drag just by reducing your frontal profile. So that's one thing that we look at. And then for our engine.
Oh yeah, and our engine is basically what we do is we just take a lawnmower engine, a Honda lawnmower engine, and all we do is we just kind of tune it up a bit, and then, yeah, that's all it is. I don't actually have a video to show you guys about how the car drives, but in the video previously that they showed to yesterday's guys, actually when they drive it, it just sounds literally like a lawnmower. So whenever you walk by a lawnmower now, just think about UBC Supermileage, okay? And driving style is, so what they do is they just accelerate up to, I believe, around 40 kilometers per hour, and then after, like right away, they cut the engine and they just coast for as far as they can.
So one unfortunate thing that happened to our team last year, on the way back from the competition, our vehicles were in a shipping accident. So we actually lost both of our competition vehicles and all of our tools. It was a little devastating. We didn't realize how closely attached we were to the cars until they were both handed back to us in the condition you see up there. But it was actually a really big motivator for the team. So we were doing quite well in the urban concept category, and we wanted to continue to remain competitive there. We decided we didn't want to lose touch with the prototype division. So as a team, we figured let's go for it. Let's rebuild 2 full new vehicles this year. We still wanted to remain an inventive team and come up with some new innovations, which we'll talk about a little further in the presentation. And then another goal with part of bringing the prototype vehicle back to life was to rejoin the SAE competition in the future and actually run 2 competitions. Although it kind of changed our plans because we intended to go to SAE this year, we now didn't really have the financials to support that. We are going to continue to develop for SAE, and we'll get there eventually in the future.
Okay, yeah, basically, so the aero division, like we said, it's basically we just build the shell of the vehicle, and it's weird because we build the shell first, and then the windows and the mirrors and everything, all those things you see on the outside tend to be the last minute things that we do. So I was told that at competition one year they forgot to put up the mirrors, so they actually just got some duct tape and they taped some reflective stuff onto the vehicle or something.
Yeah. So a lot of what we do in the air division is similar as we talked about the last presentation. So we start with our fluid dynamics analysis on the computer, doing cab models and testing out what we think is the best shape. You can see the next thing that we do is make scale models and put them in the wind tunnels here at UBC. We can measure aerodynamic drag very effectively in that process. And then you can take a look at various different models that you think are really good on the computer and ensure that they are actually really good in real life. And from there, we can end up with a really highly optimized vehicle shell. One year, we actually doubled our fuel mileage 1 year by changing the ergonomic shell entirely. So this is just us doing our layout of our urban concept this year. And then there's another picture of part of the process of making the shell is making an entire mold. So that's a prototype vehicle. Yeah, in the chassis division, we worked with a lot of composites, new carbon fiber, aluminum honeycomb chassis. This year is one of our big developments we should get to see a little bit of when we get back to the shop. And as I said before, we're working a lot with the steering and the systems there.
And then the engine division was talking about that. Going electrical, so I guess those are the guys that literally connect the car together. So they are the ones who put together the controls. Like in the urban concept, there's a lot more wiring, I understand, because it has like working lights and working windshield wipers, and they also connect the engine up with all the controls. And I think that's most of the baby. And that's the hierarchy of the team. So of course at the very top we have our captain, who runs everything. And then we have the support team. So those are basically the different divisions that build everything. And we have like a safety officer, and we have certain members who are just in charge of training. And then last but not least, there is the admin team. So basically what we do is we just make sure that the team doesn't run out of money, and we make sure that we're registered for all the competitions, and we do a lot of marketing stuff. So basically over here, you don't have to be in engineering to be a part of this team. Anyone's really welcome as long as you're open-minded and into it. And as you can see over here, we all work together towards one common goal. And are there any questions?
Actually, we do have some, I still have a copy of the video.
Oh, sure. Yeah, since this is just for last week, yeah. Some more engines can actually be quite exciting, especially when you come up with fuel injection systems and get more power. Yeah, this is the urban concept here, yeah. So he's looking at all the different field parameters that are going in and optimizing those, or watching what's going on in that first run.
Yeah, but actually don't plug in the laptop.